Alright guys, so check this out. This is how much money I've made through Instagram by just posting carousels. As you can see, it's $10,495.58, excluding all of the taxes and charges. So this is all of the money that I've made. And as you can see, the date is from 1st of January 2026 to 30th May of 2026. So this was the time period when I was only posting carousels and I was only promoting my low ticket digital products and all of that stuff. And in this video, I'm going to be telling you all of the things from where I started, and then that made me $10,000 by just posting carousels on Instagram without spending any time on reels and video content. So by the end of this video, you'll exactly know how you can make your $10,000 through Instagram by posting carousels, or even if you don't want to post carousels, it can be possible through reels also, which we are going to talk about in a bit. So without any further delays, let's just get started. Now, this all started in December of 2024. Remember, the date is 2024, not 2025. So I launched my first digital product and got 2 sales in the month of March. So basically what happened was that in December, I started building my personal brand, and then I wanted to start, making money through Instagram. So what I did was that I launched my first digital product, and then I marketed them, and literally nobody bought in the month of December, in the month of January, and in the month of February. Even after marketing them it just didn't work out. But in the month of March, I generated my first 2 sales and I made my first $38. And this was the moment that made my kind of brain believe that, holy shit, this is possible. Like, this is actually, making money online is actually possible through your own business and without freelancing and stuff. Because before this, I was into freelance, and this was the first time that I launched my own product and launched my own business. And this was the first money that I've made. I know that is not kind of something big, but again, this was just the signal for me that told me that you can do this. After that, I just kept going. Now, in May of 2025, after posting a lot of content, I saw some traction again, because before that, my content was literally set. I was getting like 500 to 1000 views on every single video or every single reel, and everything was set. But in May of 2025, after posting a lot of content, after reading a lot of, my previous data point, previous flops, and then also learning a lot more about content algorithm and all of that stuff, I kind of started cracking the game of content and personal branding and all of that stuff. So there were a few days where I would get 64,000 views, 70,000 views, and then this video really blew up, which got like 500, almost 500,000 view. And then I just kept going from there. I knew that my content is going to work, and then definitely I can monetize through these views and all of that stuff. So basically what I did was that I created a kind of video editing style. If you follow me for a very long time, you might have seen this. I used to do this animation dominated video styles, where there was this AI voice in the background, and I used to just animate and try to teach everyone what I'm learning and what are the things that they need to do in order to create good content and in order to create a premium looking video reels. Now I kept creating those videos and finally decided to drop a video editing course in October, because I was getting so many views. I was getting so many people asking that how do you edit the videos that we need to. Some of them also were searching for courses and all of that. So I thought that this is this is my moment. This is the time when I launch my course, or this is the time when I finally get that, turn around my life, and I launch a digital product, and then I can literally make $10,000 in one go. So I built an email list, started hyping the product, posted maniacally for, the whole month. I was creating product. I was also building email list. I was hyping the product that, oh, this is what I'm creating. I used to post stories. And then I was also posting 2 to 3 times a day. It was really kind of, I would say, time consuming, and also really tiring for me, because I used to these videos used to take a lot of time to create, as you can see by the animation and all of that stuff. But still, I created 2 or 3 videos every single day in order to make a good impression of the course, and also to get as many people as interested into the thing. So I did all of the things, and I thought that I did everything right, but I made $756.96. You might see 700 sales right here, but there was also a lot of free products and lead magnets. But yeah, I made $756.96 for the whole month. So this is not even the a launch part or the launch day. This is the whole month I've made this money. And to give you in context, the product was, or like the course was like for $49. And this was the point where I felt like this was the lowest moment. I genuinely thought of giving up, because I've been trying to do this for like, as you can tell, like for the last 10 months or last 11 months. I've been trying to build my personal brand. I've been trying to monetize my content, launch my business, launch my digital products, and try to make like real money through Instagram, which seemed kind of impossible right now, because I thought that everything was right. I was getting the views, I was building the email list, I was getting people interested. People were literally telling me to, I saw the interest, but even still after that, I made $700 for the whole month. The reason why this was like really demotivating for me is because I had built like an email list of 300 people, I would say, which were really interested in the course. And then when I launched the course, I thought that I would get like, $1,000 in the like first 24 hours, which would be really kind of mind blowing to me. I tried to keep my expectation low, but your mind is a monkey. It will do all of the things. So I thought that I would generally get like at least $1,000 on the day of launch, but I literally got like 2 sales. And that is why it was like so demotivating for me that by the end of this month, I kept promoting the product. I kept sending the emails. I kept, doing the CTAs on my stories, on my videos and reels and everywhere, and still like made almost $800, less than $800 through that product. And this was the time I thought that this is not going to work. I don't know if this is a real thing or not. So I thought of giving up really at that time. So I just stopped everything and kept posting content anyways, because that was the only thing that I could do that felt like progress. So I just stopped promoting all of the digital products that I had. I had built like, I would say 2 or 3 digital products, but I stopped promoting all of those because I felt like this is not nothing is working for me and all of that. But I kept creating content and posting content because that was the only thing that I could do that felt like progress. As I've said, that in the month of May, I was getting a lot of views and a lot of, engagement. So whenever I posted content, it got viral and it got many views. It was like a progress thing. So that was the thing that I thought, they just do this because this is the thing that I feel a progress in. So I just kept doing content and stopped like all together all of the like monetization part. But between September and October, I started posting carousels and one of them went viral. Now, as you can see, this was the very first carousel that went viral. So basically what happened was that between September, I saw that carousels were like, this was a new Instagram update where they started pushing carousels. And then I saw a lot of creators doing carousels. And one of the things that I remember was that my explore page was filled with carousels. So I thought that, let's just give it a try, because these videos were taking me a lot of time, scripting, editing, and then also like main part was editing, because editing would take me around 2 hours for every single video. So as you can guess, like 7 videos is equal to 14 hours, but creating these carousels would take me around like 1 hour for like one carousel. But now it takes me like 15 minutes. So, but we'll get to that part. But yeah, so this was like clearly the higher ROI thing that I could do, because 14 hours gives me like 6,000 views and then 1 hour gives me like 57,000 views. So this was the time when I kind of decided to post more of the carousels or try more of the carousels, because before I was doing 2 reels and 1 carousel a day. But then after this, when I saw this hit, I thought that let's just do more of the carousels, because again, I'm getting a lot of views and I'm also getting a lot of engagement, and I'm spending much less time than reels. So why not just do more of it? So basically, and to give you a little bit of context, it was not the first carousel that I posted and got viral. This was literally the 26th or 27th carousel that got viral, or that kind of hit the expectations of me, or even exceeded the expectations of me, because before it was simply like literally getting like 2,000, 3,000 views. But yeah, after this I was like, carousels are really good, let's just do more of them. So I started doing more of it, and it went viral too. After this, a lot of carousels went viral, and I gained 15 million views in November, and something clicked. To give you a context, before this, my page would barely pass 500k views, and in November I gained like 50 million views. And as you can guess, 90% of the heavy lifting I would say 99% of the heavy lifting was done by carousels. As you can see, the top content is just carousel, 2.3 million views, 2 million views, 2 million views, and all of that stuff. So at this point, I stopped creating reels because, that just didn't make any sense for me. They were high time consuming. They were getting no views, no engagement, nothing, all of that. And even if I did get views on them in the past month, it didn't brought any sales. So I just stopped doing reels and I just doubled down on carousels and I started posting more and more carousels. So I thought, let's launch something again. But so at this point, I was so frustrated with my journey with content and basically monetizing on Instagram, was that I thought to, I basically need to launch again something because I had no money with me. So I thought that, let's just launch something again, but I will do something different. The first thing was that before even launching, I used to, ask people what is the, literally in the DMs manually, I would talk to people about their problems. What is the struggle that you're going through right now? How can I help? And I would try to, give them as much value as I can. I used to voice note. I remember every single day in my evening walk, I used to voice note every single person who DM'd me, and I would do that for 2-3 hours. And that is the point when I learned people really have this problem. I need to solve that problem. So I gave myself a deadline of 15 days. It was really 12 days, and I gave myself a deadline to launch a PDF or a simplest digital product, which is a PDF, in the next 12 days or 15 days or 2 weeks. So I launched a PDF that was made in 15 days, and it was called Signature Personal Branding. Many of you would have gotten it. It was from the last year. So I launched this in December 15th, on December 15th or 14th. I don't remember the date, but yeah, after 14 days of building this PDF, I launched it and I made $2,000 in 15 days. This was the moment when I everything started to make sense. And to give you a little bit of example, on 14th, I would say I launched the product, and it was 9 p.m. for me. And then the next day, 5 a.m., I had a flight to visit my cancer hospital because I have to go to my cancer hospital in order to get my blood checkups and all of that stuff. So they call me in every 6 months right now. So I had to go there, and I was like, bro, I have just launched this product. At night I thought that I have just launched this product. I know this is going to flop. Just fuck this. I'm just going to go on. This was, and also that time, that was my first solo trip. So I just went on that trip and I was like, fuck this, I don't care if it worked or not. And I really thought that this wouldn't work because I spent almost 2 months creating a product, launching it before this, and it got me $700 in it got 2 sales in the first 24 hours. So I expected nothing of it. But I remember when I got into the plane, and then I got off the plane, and when I turned off the airplane mode, I hit this, kind of cha-ching sound. If you have the Gumroad app, they kind of send you a notification whenever you get a sale of cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. So I got this notification 5 times. So it was cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And I was like, bro, what the fuck? So I just opened my phone and I saw that there was 5 sales of this one product. And it was also I would say at $49. So same pricing, but different product. So I got 5 sales in the last, I would say 10 hours or 8 hours. And I was really kind of surprised at that time, because I thought this was really, this isn't going to work out, because it didn't worked out the last time. But through that 15 days, by the end of this 15 days, I made $2,000. And there was this is real money in my case, because I was 20 years old at that time, and I was I'm still living with my parents, but it is a lot of money, especially for people in my country. So I made that money and I was really hyped and all of that stuff. One more thing was that I also gained 27 million views in December, and that was the highest month in terms of view, if that makes sense. So 27 million views, it was a record breaking view that I have ever gotten on my page. And then, again, only carousels. So I stopped posting reels at the starting of the November, and then at this point, everything was, flying. So by the start of next year, I then kept promoting that and few other products for a few months, and then finally decided to launch the biggest product, or to launch the next giant. You can say that that PDF was just for me testing the things out. As I've told you that at that time I was really demotivated and I thought that nothing would work out. So that was not my kind of really putting in effort into something, and that is why I made $2,000. I guess I could have made more than that, way more than that, if I was serious about that. But yeah, anyways, this was the time when I thought that I was making real money. So in January also I made $2,000. In February I guess I made 1.5K, and in March I was making around like $700. But in March I started building the next big product, which was the Carousel engine. At this time so basically let me tell you where this idea came from. This idea literally just came from me myself. In November, when I stopped creating reels and started posting carousels, I realized few things. The first thing was that you don't really need to post reels if you don't feel like posting reels, or if you feel like they are wasting your time and you feel like, you can do much more, or reels are just not for you. So that was the time when I started posting carousels, and I thought that, bro, this is a real problem that people might face. So why not just launch a product that solves this problem, which I faced by myself? People would come to me and be like, you're really good. I would talk, I would post content about how literally easy it is to create carousels. And then I had the biggest proof was that you can actually make money, not only like get views through carousels, because I had made that, money in the December and January, February part. So this was the time when I was like, I have solved a real problem. I know what are the results that I can get people. So let's just launch the new and the most, I would say, perfect, like the near perfect product that I can create. So I launched this Carousel engine, in April. But the thing is, I did the same things I did for the video editing course. So I built the email list, I hyped the product every single day, I put the stories, everything that I did for video editing course. But this time I made more in 24 hours than I made in a month. So that was like, this was the thing that I made. So this was the number that I made, was like $1,872.58. And this was made in 24 hours by launching the product. And I still remember that this was put down my phone right here. And then I was waiting for the notifications to come drop in, because at this time I was really hoping to get like $1,000, because everything has changed and all of that stuff. So I put down my phone right here, and then I waited for as soon as I sent the first email with the link of that product. And literally that before even sending this link or the first launch email, before, when I was warming up the people for the launch, there were literally people who were telling me like, bro, I'm ready to buy, just send me the link and all of that. I don't want to miss out. The timing that you're launching would be night for me. So I don't know how can I reserve a spot and all of that stuff. So literally the hype was made. So I put down my phone right here, and then I was waiting for that cha-ching sound, but it didn't came through. And at that time, I was like, bro, what the fuck is happening? Like, why isn't people buying? At that time, I was like literally kind of in a shock, I would say, because nothing made sense, because, this was real demand, real everything. So I was like, where are the people? Why aren't they buying? So I did some refreshes and all of that stuff. And I realized that my phone was in silent mode. So basically what happened was that I made around 7 sales in the first 30 minutes of the launch, and then I went to sleep. It was like literally 5 a.m. because I was working all night, and the launch was kind of delayed because of my laziness. So I worked all night, and 5 a.m. I launched the product, and then I kind of saw the 30-minute review. I made like $1,000, almost $1,000. I would say that it amounted to around $990, because the product was priced at $99. So I made that $1,000, and then I went to sleep. I'm just going to fry myself watching the screen, sales coming up. So I just went to sleep, and then what happened was basically when I was sleeping, I was like, bro, please, I just want more sales. So basically, by the end of this day, I made $1,872. My goal was to make around like $3,000 or $4,000, at least $5,000. But again, it didn't work out. But this was like really big number because the last launch, from the last launch, it was like whatever I made that in a month, I made almost that money in like, in 24 hours. So it became my highest revenue month, April. There was the time when I made like $5,800, almost like before taxes and all of that stuff. So yeah, that was the time when I made the highest amount of money through only selling digital products. So that was like really good. At that time, at the end of the month, I was really hyped up. I was really, like I would say, like really happy at that time because this was like first time making real money and all of that stuff. I was like, no, my business is literally working. This is really, really like something that I can continue, and this is really something that I was dreaming of. So yeah, there was a thing, and this is like the whole story of how I made around $10,000 with my digital product. So in total, I have made around $11,500 from this one single digital product. Now, to give you a little bit of math, I have made in total of $7,000 from this digital product alone. So, nothing else from that, but I've gotten high ticket clients from that too. So people who bought the product also converted. Some of the people also converted into a high ticket coaching client, one-on-one client, which is my highest ticket product. And then that all resulted in $11,500. And to be completely honest, they didn't even need a selling and all of that. If you know the value ladder, if someone has paid you something, then their chances of paying you more is much more than someone who hasn't paid you. So yeah, I made like few more clients to that, and in total I made $11,500 from this one single digital product that I launched. To summarize the whole process and give you a simple roadmap in order to launch your digital product and then make real money and even more than what I made, this is the few things that you need to keep in mind if you really want to do that. The reason why my first product, like the video editing course, flopped and this product worked was for like because of these points. The first and the most important point was that who are you creating for? If you look at the video editing course, that product is basically made for video editors. And if you look at what is the income level of video editors, it is literally around like $1,000 to $5,000 at max. That is the kind of money that video editors make. And moreover, video editors are not the people who are willingly to buy something. So that was the first reason. But if you look at my second product, which was the personal branding launchpad, that product was made for the people who really want to build their personal brand. That included entrepreneurs, that included business owners, and everyone who wants to create their personal brand. So that was like a really kind of product curated for the higher income level of people. And even if you look at the Carousel Engine, I would say 80% of the people who bought were business owners who were fed up with creating reels, and they were like, I just don't have time for content. I just need something that reduces the time that I can spend on creating content. So that was the reason that that product worked even better, because 80% of the people were business owner, and it directly not I would say directly, but it solved their specific pain problem. So that is the first thing that you need to keep in mind, is that who are you creating for? The next thing, start with a real pain problem. My first product, or the video editing course, didn't had a real pain problem. The thing that I was selling was that fancy video editing, and then how to make your videos look better and all of that. So it doesn't have a real pain problem in that. You can talk about decreasing time, all of that stuff. We have failed at the first point, so the second point is also kind of going to fail. Because these three things are interconnected with each other. So you need to nail all of those three things before even starting to build the product. But in the Carousel Engine, the main pain point was that people were spending too much time on reels and content, that they wanted to have something that saved them a lot of time, and then the content that would get them more clients or more leads with like less time. So that is why this worked. And the reason why I say real pain problem is because this was the problem that I faced last year. So that was like that is why it's like a real pain problem. And also I talked to a lot of people who said that they also had the same pain problem. The third point, the reward is the main driver. You need to think of your product as not the product itself, but the reward that they are getting when they buy the product. Because to be completely honest, nobody buys a product, they buy the reward or the end goal that the product helps them to reach. The product is just a vehicle that takes your customers to the dream state that they want to have. For example, the reason why the carousel engine worked so well was that it saved the time, and it also promised that most of the people that will see your carousels will be 10 times more highly engaged into your content or into your personal brand rather than the people who are just watching 30-second reels. Because if you do the math, on an average, people spend like 3 minutes on consuming a carousel rather than the people who spend like 30 seconds or 1 minute on a reel. And also, like, there are like a lot of advantages of posting carousels. If you're not posting carousels, you should start posting carousels. Few of them is that people, like, not all of the people are kind of, I would say, keen on watching reel, because reels are kind of has become this brain rot content where everything is so fast paced and like everybody's yapping on the camera, and many people don't feel connected with that. Most of the people are kind of readers. Even if you see the high level people, so entrepreneurs and all of the people who have business, they want the real content with no tricks and hacks involved in it. They want the real thing. If they can swipe forward, if they can swipe backward, and then read the content on their level, and then read the content on their pace, and then also feel like the content is much more deep than the reels, that is the thing that rewards a much more higher engaged audience than reels. So higher engaged audience means that you are going to get more leads, more views, not more views, but more leads, and more people who are interested in buying from you, and more people who actually buys. Because again, this was the real thing that I saw. I just started posting carousels in full-time November, and then in December I made a lot of money through just posting carousels. Test the product before getting started. So what you need to do is that, what I'm guessing is that if you want to launch a digital product, you must have an audience of at least 10,000 followers, or even more than that. So what you need to do is to literally talk to your audience, post stories, ask them, poll questions, or ask them in the DMs what is the thing that they, if you have a digital product idea, ask them, if I launch this, would you be interested in this, and how can I make this better? That's literally the same thing that I did with my product, the Carousel engine, and that is why it performed really well. So you need to test it before even getting started. Do not be like, everything comes to your mind and you are like, this is the thing that I think will make people buy, and then when you launch it, you'll be like, this is not the thing that people actually want. The thing that happened with me with a video editing course, I thought that this is a really good product that would be interested for people, but it actually wasn't. So that is the thing that you need to understand, is that test the product before you even get started. The next thing is going to be build while you launch. Once you have decided to start creating a product, once you have started building the product, do not wait for finishing the build and then prepare for the launch and then launching. One of the worst thing that you can do is to create a product and then you realize is that you haven't even like gotten the launch strategy, or you haven't even, like, people even don't know that you have the product. That is the biggest mistake that you can do. So what you can do is that once you have decided that you are going with this product, you have gotten the confirmation with your audience, and you have done everything, that is the point when you start launching the product or hyping up the launch, or we call this the pre-launch state, where you build the email list, you warm up the people, you post stories that you are building this, people who are interested will share your content and all of that. You put CTAs, you show behind the scenes of what you are building and what is the thing that you're getting, inside the product and all of that stuff. So always launch while you are building the product, so that people are already knowing what you are doing, and then they are ready for the launch just like you. So that is the thing that you need to keep in mind. Always build while you launch. The last point is going to be, marketing is more important than the product itself. Don't think that if your product is good, it is going to sell itself. That never actually happens on Instagram, or even like today's age. You have to have a product like which is good, but you also have marketing which is like very good. Because if you don't market the product really good with your Instagram, or if with your social media or with your audience, it is not going to sell or is not going to make things work, because your product can be good. If your marketing is not good, then it really doesn't matter. Your product can actually be sit, and if your marketing is good, then you can make money. But if your product is good, your marketing is not, then you can't make money, which is like a really harsh point, but that is the reality that you need to understand. A little bit of bonus point is that always build an email list. If you haven't built an email list, I'm telling you that you are literally leaving thousands of dollars on the table. Like, this is the recent thing that I'm doing with my client who didn't had an email list, is that I'm telling him to create an email list as soon as possible, because most of the money are made through email list. The 1.8k USD that I made in 24 hours was only through the email list. For the first 7 days, I hadn't even promoted the product on my Instagram. So like all the sales came from my email list, not from the like Instagram and all of that. The reason for that is because your email list has your audience owned in it. So you like every single email gets to your audience, rather than just, depending on algorithm. Like, let's just say you have a launch on 1st of August or 1st of the next month, and then you feel like you post content, you are like done with like 7 days of content, and when you start posting, algorithm is like, I'm not promoting it, bro, because algorithm has changed or something like that, or your hook is bad or something like that. So do not play that risky game, or do not play that losing game, which really doesn't make any sense. So always build an email list, and then always promote the product on your email list. Or even if you even to give you another point, is that it is really hard to sell something above more than $49 on Instagram. So people always buy the stuff on Instagram on an impulse buy feeling. So they never buy by thinking and all that stuff. Even if you see yourself, you never open Instagram thinking of, I am going to buy a thing. Or even if someone promotes you their high ticket product, you never buy it from Instagram. You always buy it from email list. So always build the email list before launching your product. So yeah, I guess that was it for this video. Let me know if you liked the video, and what are the things that stood out for you, and what is the digital product that comes to your mind and that you're going to launch. And again, if you need my one-on-one help with me, then you can find the link in the description where you can book a call with me, and definitely we can talk together and then strategize your whole launch plan for your own digital product, and something that we can, launch together. So I hope you like this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, keep creating.